Hello and welcome to my review of the MTN Mifi. Now before we start, it is important to note that there are several types of MTN Mifis. The one we have in our possession for this review is the Tozed ZLT M30s. Yes, it's quite a mouthful, took me a while to get around. Now it costs around 13,000 naira on Jumia and can and probably should be purchased from an MTN outlet or store in your vicinity. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the unboxing. What will you find in the box? Well, in the box you'd find the Mifi itself, the SIM pack, batteries, USB cable for charging, and user manuals. Those are important, to not throw those away. You'd find out soon. Now let's move on to the spec review. What is this Mifi all about? Well, like I said, the Mifi in my possession is the Tozed ZLT M30s. You're going to have to get used to the name now. It has a 2500 mAh, that's milliampere per hour battery that lasts for around 8 hours on average. It can support up to 8 users at a time, and it is 4G capable. The Wi-Fi connectivity, however, supports just the 2.4 GHz band, and the network speeds are category 4 capable, that is 50 megabits per second uplink and 150 megabits per second downlink. The CPU on board is made by ZTE, even though this is a Tozed Mifi. Now let's move on to the Mifi itself. Now the Mifi is mostly white. Yeah, it's mostly white, and it has 2 buttons, one on the face and one on the side or on the top, depends. Now the button on the face simply does simple function: power on, power off. That's the button on the face, now surrounded by 4 lights. Power on and power off. The button at the top is a WPS key. Now the function of a WPS key is simply to help your Mifi connect to other devices without having to put in your password, because yes, putting in passwords is kind of like a really long process. So you just hit the WPS key, connect whatever device you want to connect to, and you're good to go. You don't have to use your password. Now there are 4 lights on the face of this Tozed Mifi. The one on the left is for the network signal. The one at the top is for connectivity with your smartphone, that's the Wi-Fi connectivity. On the right is the battery, and at the bottom is a message notification light. Now setting up is quite easy. The very first set of the setup is the SIM registration, which is why I said earlier that it is better that you do it at an MTN outlet. So if you can do that, most probably they would tell you how to set up your Mifi for the first time, and even if they don't, it's a very easy process. Now you open up the back of your Mifi, remove the battery, and you see some very key information there: username, password, and Wi-Fi SSID. You may need to keep those down, and then you can use username and password to connect your Mifi to your smartphone. When you get in there, you can log into your MTN broadband, key in the very sensitive information on the back of the Mifi there, and then you're good to go. Once you get into your dashboard, customize your settings as you like, and it's all good. Now one thing you should also note is that as soon as you finish your setup, you should get a 30 gig bonus from MTN. But even if it doesn't, normally the process should be automatic, but if it doesn't happen, you can simply from your dashboard there, you send activate to 131. You're all good, and I think that should fix that. Now on to the review itself. Now this MTN Mifi is actually very good. I have had it for around 2 months now, and it can, like I said, support up to 8 devices. I have personally never connected up to 8 devices, but I believe it should be able to support up to 8 devices. The highest I've ever done is 4 devices. Now note that it lasts for around 8 hours, but the more devices that are connected to it, the faster the battery would run down. And then you should also note that it takes quite a while to charge up, needing just over 2 hours to charge up, and to charge satisfactorily. You're going to be having I think the best way to charge is when you just plug it and go to bed for the most part. Yeah, and it can take you, depending on your use pattern, it can take you, well, single charge a day depending on your use pattern, but most regular users, people who are heavy internet users, will require to charge twice a day. And I think it's also important that you get a very good power bank if you're always on the move, so you can top up your Mifi battery. Now the network, like I said earlier, is capped at category 4, which actually isn't really a lot, but most regular users wouldn't notice this. They wouldn't. But for someone like me, I have an eye out for this stuff, because I've written several posts about, like, network speeds and all that, and my smartphone uses a category 15 modem on board. So category 15 and category 4 are actually worlds apart. Like, this is not one of those marketing gimmicks now. They're actually quite worlds apart. But that being said, the modem on your smartphone is a battery guzzler. Absolutely. I mean, besides the screen of your smartphone, the next important thing that guzzles up a lot of your battery is the modem on board, especially when you are connected to the internet and you've got, like, you're streaming or you're gaming or something. The modem is actually a huge battery drinker. So using a Mifi actually takes that load off your smartphone, and then your battery will last longer. If you don't believe me, go 6 hours without connecting to the internet and see how long your battery would last. It would be almost as if your battery was superhuman. Like, take that from me. So using a Mifi is actually really, really good. It will help you save battery, and it will, like, elongate the lifespan of your smartphone battery and all that. So finally, should you get this Mifi? Yes, absolutely. Why not? It actually does what it says it will do. If you pay attention to the spec sheet, you'd know that, like, the Mifi does what it's supposed to do, speeds notwithstanding. Some people may complain about the battery life needing maybe more than 6 to 8 hours or so, depending on the number of connected devices. Some people may also want something more heavy duty. I think you should go with MTN routers for that one. This Mifi is for personal use, for casual use, for simple use. It's not really all that heavy duty-ish. It's just basically a personal Mifi that offers mobility, comfort, and simplicity, as far as I can tell. So I've had this now, like I said, 2 months, right? And this is a very good Mifi. I'll give it a plus. It's good to go, really. And with that, we've come to the end of this review. Well, I've not always been a fan of MTN, but I think this Mifi is very, very okay. I'll be logging off now. Thank you for coming. As usual, my name is Jeffrey. Please like, subscribe, and share this one with your friends, your family, and whoever needs a Mifi. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.